I'm sure by now you have heard that Omicron is here in the United States and spreading like wildfire. Omicron is the latest variant of concern of the SARS coronavirus, and it's all over the place in the news, social media, everybody is talking about it. So how concerned should you be? What should you do now to continue making good decisions to protect yourself and your family members in light of this new threat that's on our doorsteps now? What should we do? We'll talk about some of those things in this video. Hello everyone, I'm Naveen Agarwal and welcome to my weekly video update. So just like Delta, Omicron is here with a big splash. Talk of the town. So share in the comments below your thoughts, your concerns, your questions, what it is that you want to know, what it is that is concerning you as you think about yourself and your family members. I'll be happy to address them in the future as we learn more about this, because what we are trying to do on this channel is to cut through the chaos, the noise that we hear in media and on social media. We want to go right to the most reliable source, medical and technical scientific papers, where the latest understanding is published, peer-reviewed, analyzed, good work is done. We want to understand all that and discuss it here in a way that all of us can figure out what is going on and make the right decisions. That's what we are trying to do. So if you like that kind of analysis and presentation, make sure to subscribe to this channel and share your comments and questions and have a good discussion about this. Okay, so Omicron is the latest variant that was first reported in Botswana and South Africa in early November. And since then, it has spread very fast. That is one reason why people are concerned about this, because the rate of transmission is very high. Some people are saying it's even more than Delta. But the rate of transmission is high. According to the latest CDC data, it's already here in 21 states, and they're going to monitor it over time. And there's no doubt in my mind or anyone else's mind that it'll take over Delta very soon as the dominant variant that is circulating in our community. Now, let me first say this, is that it should be no surprise to anybody that we are seeing new variants emerge very fast. There's still a lot of coronavirus circulating in communities all over the world. We live in a global economy. People travel everywhere. And yes, you can do travel restrictions, but really they're not very effective in my opinion. The virus will circulate, and the more it circulates, the more it will mutate, and we will hear about new mutations, new variants. No surprise. So there was Delta, now we have Omicron. I'm sure there will be some other new variant of concern come out very fast. So first we have to kind of get used to this notion of living with new mutations, new variants coming out very soon. But what I want us to understand is, and pay attention to, is how CDC classifies these variants. So they have three levels: variant of interest, variant of concern, and variant of high consequence. Delta is a variant of concern, not a variant of high consequence. Omicron is a variant of concern, not of high consequence. So let's first talk about what does that mean? Well, variant of interest is, something new. We're just gonna continue looking at it. Makes sense to just continue monitor it. Variant of concern is where things get a little bit risky, and this is where there is reason to believe that a specific variant will affect how our diagnostic tests are working. Their specific targets for detection may have a problem with that. It may lower vaccine effectiveness. It may lower the effectiveness of treatments like monoclonal antibodies or plasma treatment or some other treatments. And it may actually cause more severe disease. So there is reason to believe that Omicron can do that. In fact, some very early studies, very early studies done in the lab environment is showing that neutralizing antibodies, the level of neutralizing antibodies specific to Omicron in vaccinated people is low. Now, that doesn't mean that their antibody levels are low. Okay, so let me clarify that. Your antibody levels may be pretty good, but only a fraction of those antibodies are what they call neutralizing antibodies. And those neutralizing antibodies actually stops the virus from going from one cell to another, stop the infection inside our body. The neutralizing antibody matters. So they are finding early lab studies that when they test plasma from people who have been vaccinated, they are showing a much lower level of neutralizing antibodies. Does it mean that vaccines are ineffective? Now, there is no reason, no evidence right now that vaccines are not working against serious disease and hospitalizations. Okay? But there is reason to believe that for mild to moderate disease, upon you could be reinfected, and the vaccine may not be as effective against mild to moderate disease. And same conclusion they reached with Delta, right? Okay, so when does it become a variant of high consequence? That's where we should pay attention, and we should really follow very closely what is being discovered about this variant. Remember, it's very new. People are still looking at it. When does it become a variant of high consequence? Number one is that it cannot be detected. It evades detection from all of our antigen tests or PCR tests or antibody tests. We cannot find it. So it hides. That would be a variant of high consequence. Second, we begin to see a disproportionately high number of reinfections among vaccinated people. We are not seeing that. Sure, vaccinated people are getting reinfected, but not at a disproportionately high proportion. And some of it was seen even during the time of Delta. Third, we may begin to see complete loss of effectiveness of treatments, more serious, extremely serious disease, new clinical signs and symptoms of disease. We might begin to see that if it's a variant of high concern, and we are not there. With Delta also, we were not there. People are concerned because it's spreading fast, and we should be concerned about that, right? So it's not a variant of high concern, but let's continue to follow it, and I'll bring you updates as soon as I possibly can to see where it's going. What's the trajectory? Are we ready to see if it's variant of high consequence or not? But until then, it remains a variant of concern. So we should be concerned. We are not going to be losing sleep over it. There are thousands of other things in our lives we are concerned about, right? Some of them are really serious, some of them are really concerning. But we still make risk-based decisions which are in the best interest of our own personal health and welfare. That's what we are trying to do. I do risk management for a living, and that's exactly what I try to communicate in these videos. Give you information and context and understanding so you can make that risk-based decision for your family. So yes, we should be concerned. So what can we do? Again, let's go to the most reliable source, CDC. Recommendation is get vaccinated if you're not. I would echo that recommendation. If you are vaccinated and eligible for a booster shot, get the booster shot. I would echo that recommendation. Makes sense completely. Because what the booster shot does, it elevates the levels of antibody. So I talk about neutralizing antibodies, right? It's a fraction of your total antibody levels. If your antibody levels are down, you will have fewer neutralizing antibodies. If you boost it up, then neutralizing antibodies will go up, even though they may not be as high against Omicron, but you will have a higher level compared to someone who doesn't have high antibodies to begin with. So get boosted. Number 3, even after that, the risk of reinfection is real. So if you really don't want to get sick, have to take time off from work, disrupt your life, continue to take precautions, social distancing, masking wherever it is appropriate. You don't have to overkill it, but keep in mind, I think we are going to be living in a world with COVID for many, many years to come. It has to change our mindset, our awareness, and our behavior. We take precautions in our daily lives about many different things. Washing hands frequently is now part of our normal behavior, even before COVID. Good hygiene, good health practices, taking care of yourself, we know that. We just need to add this particular item to our list of being aware. Your circumstances, the kind of environment you are in, where you are going, what you should be doing, take precautions, so that you can do. So to summarize, Omicron is here. Yes, spreading fast. Very likely it'll become the dominant variant, overtake Delta. Now we have a good runner in the race, better than that. I'm joking. It is not a good situation, but yes, we have a faster runner. It'll take over Delta, I'm pretty sure. But it is not a variant of high consequence. Vaccine effectiveness still pretty high against serious disease, but the expectation is it'll probably not be as protective against reinfections and mild to moderate disease. You'll probably experience sickness if you are reinfected, and chances are because of high transmission rates, and if you live in areas where transmission rates are high, you can bet on a very high chance of reinfection. So you'll be reinfected, but the belief is that, and data suggests that extremely serious situation is unlikely to happen if you are vaccinated. On top of it, final note, continue to take precautions. Please take care of yourself. Share in your comments below your questions, your experience. What are you doing? Are you doing anything special? Has it changed your life? In what ways? Share with me your thoughts and we'll have a good discussion. I wish you all the best. Stay safe. Thank you for your interest and attention. And I look forward to hearing from you.